Well, last hour you heard from former Facebook president and Napster co-founder Sean Parker about the launch of his new foundation. Stephanie Ruhle also asked him about some of the current sky-high valuations we're seeing in Silicon Valley, also Spotify, and whether or not he thinks we are in a tech bubble. Have a listen.
I don't believe we're in a bubble. We are experiencing a unique moment in history where, for the first time, the entire global population in the developed world is online and has computing in their pocket. You know, when you think about 1 billion people on Facebook, you think about the number of smartphones that are in people's pockets, the mobile computing revolution, the ability to be always on. This opens the door for the kind of disruption that I think it may not justify all of the valuations. There's a little bit of irrational exuberance around valuations. If anything, we're maybe in a valuation bubble. But I don't think we're in a market bubble because I think we'll continue to see more multi-billion-dollar companies over the next 10 years coming out of the space. So I think, you know, this is by no means over, and I think we're just going to see more of the same. We may see a few companies and some valuations getting a little ahead of themselves, but I think generally speaking, it's not a bubble.
Do you look at all fundraising right now? It just seems so easy, especially in terms of private fundraising. I mean, any company that appears to be in the valley, VC firms, traditional money managers are throwing money that direction. Is that going to slow down?
Well, again, when you have 1 billion consumers utilizing this technology essentially more than 24 hours per day.
But not necessarily paying for it.
Well, I mean, the services that are doing incredibly well, whether it's Uber or Airbnb or Spotify, these services are either subscription services or they are, you know, clearly customers are paying. So that's another big difference between this environment and 1999. There's not only revenue here, there's real earnings here.
What do you think about Apple making this big move into streaming music? I mean, you are one of the people who really brought Spotify here, and I don't see a smartphone that doesn't have Spotify on it.
The music industry has been historically very resistant to change. It was a difficult process getting licenses done to bring Spotify to the U.S. and globally. My sense is that there's a lot of new market entrants that are essentially following Spotify's lead, and you know, hopefully Spotify will continue to have a leadership position going forward.
Is there something that an endeavor, if you have to say, you have to get through this for me to care about it, what is it?
Well, you know, investors talk a lot about market size, and it's really hard to pin that down. Now, market size is often not clear until something's built. I mean, I admit I fully underestimated just how big Airbnb as a market really was. I probably underestimated how big Facebook was, to be honest. So market size is hard to evaluate, but it's incredibly important.
And is Facebook too big at this point to be innovative and mobile?
Facebook is unique in its ability to understand. I think this is really credit to Mark, that he understands the need for the company to reinvent itself, and the fact that he's not always going to be the first to originate a new idea. Yeah, sometimes he's just going to have to go to the market and buy a company like Instagram.
He's got the money.
Yeah, or to buy. And the amazing thing, when you look at the Instagram acquisition or you look at the WhatsApp acquisition, they were essentially free. I mean, the market absorbed those acquisitions because the market believed in the story. So, you know, I think Mark's been very good at recognizing where another company has a competitive advantage that's defensible, and where it would be significantly harder and riskier for Facebook to try to rebuild that technology than it would be to just acquire the company.